is second place right now as of this morning. Chicago Bulls, who have held their own since losing. They lost 3 players in a matter of like 4 days for 2 months. Lonzo Ball, then Derrick Jones Jr., who'd been playing a little bit, more for them, and Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso was actually in between those. So 3, key perimeter defensive players they lost all in a row. They've gotten a couple of wins. Vucevic, who we talked about on the pod earlier this week, has had a couple of good games. And they're holding at number 2. What do the computers say, Bontemps, about their future?
So they're most likely to finish 6th. They've got a 17% chance of finishing 6th, but in a kind of an example of how spread out this is, they've got a better than 10% chance of finishing anywhere from 4th to 7th.
So we don't know.
Right.
And this is why we're having this conversation. We don't know.
So sometimes these computers are like windy. They're real like timid with their predictions. Well, they've got just as good a chance of finishing 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Little chance of finishing 1st. They'll finish somewhere in that range. Yeah, we call that the windy waiver.
Well, it's a sign.
Well, does that mean you're gonna make a strong prediction about the Bulls there, McMahon? Go ahead.
They'll finish 6th.
It's a sign of how bunched up everything is, because it's basically predicting everybody to have roughly the same record.
Yeah.
So
and so my strong preseason prediction with Bulls ended up looking pretty idiotic, because I thought they were going to be scrapping it to be in that play-in mix.
Yep, you and me both, buddy.
They probably thought that. They wouldn't say that, but they probably thought that.
Well, yeah. Look, so DeMar DeRozan obviously has been phenomenal. Like he's been an all NBA caliber player. But I think the biggest surprise with the Bulls has been that they have been a solid defensive team. They're right there in the middle of the pack now. And I remember saying, preseason, if the Bulls are a middle of the pack defensive team, then Billy Donovan deserves Coach of the Year consideration. Billy Donovan, at this point does deserve Coach of the Year consideration. I think we underestimated the duo of Caruso and Ball, and it's just hard to see that holding up with both those guys out for a while. So, they have enough firepower that they're still going to, be able to keep their heads above water and win some games, because they're going to be, with DeRozan, with Levine, Vooch. I mean, they're going to be able to outscore some teams. I just think it's, the way they've been able to win all season long is going to be extremely difficult to sustain over these next, whatever it is, 6 weeks or so.
I mean, what we all underestimated about the Bulls, honestly, was Alex Caruso. Really, I mean, when he is on the court this year, their defensive rating is 102. When he is off the court this year, their defensive rating is 112.6.
10 points.
And there isn't another guy who plays in their rotation who's within 3 percentage points of him in terms of defense when they're on the court. Like, Caruso has been a gigantic difference maker for them defensively. And that's going to be the key to your point, McMahon. For the next 2 months, can they survive with both him and Lonzo out and really having nobody that's going to be able to stop the ball on the perimeter other than Ayo Dosunmu, their rookie from Illinois, who's been a pretty nice fit for them off the bench. Has been a really nice player.
Well, for a second round pick, he's been phenomenal.
Been huge for them.
Be careful trusting second round rookies.
Well, they just don't have a choice now.
I agree, but
they need him to be good. And
I agree.
Look, like, if you have to pick one of these teams in the top 6 to drop out of the top 6, it's probably going to be Chicago. Like, based off of their, them basically not having those guys till April 1st. It's going to be a long couple months for them.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.